Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for joining us this evening. My name's Angus Parside-Wyatt from Conservative Home. It's a real pleasure to have you all here this evening with us for this event, celebrating the work of the Duke of Edinburgh's award. I'm very delighted to have the Secretary of State for Culture, Media, Sport and Digital, get them in the right order, with us this evening. This is the last event in Conservative Home's programme of fringe events this year, and we've definitely saved the best till last, in all of you, as well as the event itself. The Duke of Edinburgh founded the award to challenge young people and encourage them to learn new talents, to build confidence and to develop skills in teamwork, leadership and service. Those three traits, I think, teamwork, leadership and service, have all become synonymous with the late Duke and Her Majesty the Queen, who worked together as a team, very much so, to lead all of us through more than 70 years, and he served all of us dutifully to the very end. So it feels right that we should pay tribute to them this evening. Tonight's reception celebrates the work that the Duke of Edinburgh's award has been doing for more than 65 years. They've been empowering and inspiring young people for all of that time. And it's an absolute privilege to be here hosting this evening and championing the work of the Duke of Edinburgh's award, not just as part of the Conservative Home team, but also as a very proud and very proud recipient of the Gold Award myself. Thank you. I try. It was worth the blisters climbing the hills. So, as a admittedly not very cool and slightly overweight teenager, the Duke of Edinburgh Award gave me an opportunity to challenge myself, build confidence and get involved in my local community. From volunteering in a charity cafe through to climbing mountains in Scotland, I learned valuable skills that have undoubtedly helped shape who I am today, although I've still not learned to be cool. So I'm delighted to be here and to have so many of you here to recognise the value of the Duke of Edinburgh's Award for young people, their well-being and their futures. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to our first speaker this evening, who is himself a Duke of Edinburgh Award recipient as well. Please welcome Ben Everett MP.
Goodness, thank you. Hello. It's a genuine honour to be here tonight to talk about the Duke of Edinburgh Award. It's where we celebrate all the achievements of the Duke of Edinburgh's Award over the last 65 years. And as mentioned, I am a recipient of the Silver Award, so not quite the gold standard that other panellists are probably going to have here. And also that was many, many years ago. Actually, I was clearing out some boxes in the house over the last weekend, and I found my logbook, which I'm reliably informed now doesn't exist because it's all digital and it's on an app. And I dusted this thing off and kind of opened up all the pages and had a good sort of scoot through all the things that I got up to. It's an amazing opportunity, this award, for young people to be able to access it in the UK, and not just in the UK, actually, across the globe. So, conference being conference, I found myself in a chat earlier with the Moroccan ambassador, and he was saying, "What are you doing next?" And I said, "I'm doing this speech at the Duke of Edinburgh Awards." He said, "Oh, we do that." I said, "Really? In Morocco?" I mean, can you imagine doing your expedition in the Sahara Desert? I thought Derbyshire was hard. So, despite recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen over 320,000 people start their DofE journey, with over 100,000 awards achieved over the last year. So I'm confident that as life returns to normal, many, many more people are going to get this amazing experience that I had, that builds character, that builds resilience, and importantly for me, builds friends for life. I won't go into the details, but I was stuck on a hill in Derbyshire in sideways rain, wearing army-issue ponchos that in rain turn into parachutes. And those guys, 25 years ago, I'm now still in daily contact with. It really does cement those friendships for life. So although that award has evolved and modernised over time, those core principles have always remained the same. This is why the award remains so popular. For me, it's the emphasis on the outdoors through the exhibition section that makes it so important, so unique. But many of us know that it's it's the outdoors that makes, well, that's so special. It's our green spaces that are so special for our mental health. And boy, did we not learn that through the pandemic. So many people do not have access to those green spaces. And that's a real reason why we need to do things like the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, to make sure that there are opportunities for young people, wherever they are, to access expeditions, friendships, friendship groups, get outside, explore, learn those crucial skills of resilience, of planning, the things that set you up for life. So whilst my expedition on that hill may have left a little to desire, I want everybody to have that opportunity. And so as a Member of Parliament, I will do everything I can to support the Duke of Edinburgh's Award and make sure that 65 more years are just the start of this journey. Thank you.
And of course, it's really important when we're talking about the young people that take part in the award. Obviously, Ben and I speak to our experiences from a little longer ago, and I also have my logbook at home. But it's also important to hear from some of the more recent recipients and people going through this. So I'm very pleased to introduce our next speaker, who is a youth ambassador for the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Please give a warm welcome to Evie Rowe.
Good evening, my name's Evie and I'm a holder of silver and nearly gold Duke of Edinburgh. Thank you. For me, Duke of Edinburgh has opened up a world of opportunities. For example, during lockdown, me and all my peers experienced a lot of loneliness and lots of anxiety about what was to come out of the pandemic. It made going to my local Tesco's quite daunting to me, but choosing to do Gold Duke of Edinburgh changed this for me. Firstly, the volunteering pushed me out there. It got me talking to people outside my family, working with children, helping them to discover their love for dance. And I found volunteering actually made me happier. It gave me such a sense of purpose for life. The skill, which is another crucial part of the Duke of Edinburgh programme, I decided to pick an extended project qualification, which is equivalent to half an A-level, which initially I really struggled doing alongside my 3 other A-levels, but because I picked it for Duke of Edinburgh, it meant that I had to carry it on. So although it was very difficult, it actually taught me so many new skills, and I'm really glad that I carried through with it. It taught me Harvard referencing, long essay writing skills, which will all be so helpful for my future in studying politics and international relations at university. One of my favourite parts of the Duke of Edinburgh is the opportunity to explore the countryside. Oddly enough, I had the most amazing time waking up at 4 a.m. for 5 days to avoid the heat wave during summer, and then walking alongside new friends that I've made through the youth social group that I do my Duke of Edinburgh with. As part of Gold, you have to complete a residential. So this summer, I found myself completing a week of water sports, like giant paddleboarding and coasteering, which really pushed me out of my comfort zone. But here, I made memories for life and friends which I still communicate with now. DofE has also enabled me to become a Duke of Edinburgh Youth Ambassador. This has given me so many opportunities, like to come to this conference and soak up the atmosphere, where I'll hopefully be in a few years' time attending as a politician, maybe. As well as tickets to the Commonwealth boxing, although I didn't really understand the rules or what was going on, as well as getting involved in this year's Skills Summer in Google headquarters, where we're learning how to transfer our skills from the Duke of Edinburgh into the real world. And these are just a few of the many amazing skills which I've learned through my Duke of Edinburgh experience. Thank you for listening, and now I'd like to pass on to our Duke of Edinburgh CEO, Ruth Marvel.
Good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here at the Conservative Party Conference, celebrating young people like Evie and all that the award does to empower, to support and to help young people have belief in themselves and feel successful. Angus talked earlier about our origin story. The Duke of Edinburgh set us up in 1956. And one of the things he says that always resonates with me, he says that all young people need to feel successful. And I think that's what the magic of the award is. It covers such a wide range of different types of activity. Young people choose what they want to do as part of that. They can curate a really bespoke programme. And at the end of it, after some perseverance and I think getting wet on a hill in Derbyshire seems to be obligatory, young people can really prove to themselves what they're actually capable of. And I think Evie is such a fantastic sort of ambassador and advocate for kind of everything we do. But she's just one of hundreds of thousands of young people who get involved in the award every year. And we know that young people have had a really hard time during the pandemic. Opportunities for social development, for missed schooling, rising kind of levels of mental ill health. It's a real sort of cataclysmic crisis for young people, and at DofE we were determined all the way through this that we would continue to be there for young people, working in partnership with lots and lots of organisations across the youth sector, schools, prisons. Pretty much if you work with young people, we can work with you. So it's just lovely to be here to celebrate everything that young people have achieved and to look forward, as Angus said, to another 65 years, hopefully, of helping young people just prove what they are capable of. I'm also delighted that we are joined by Michelle Donnellan, who's Secretary of State for DCMS. We have been very fortunate that DCMS have invested in the Duke of Edinburgh's award as part of the National Youth Guarantee. Funding from DCMS combined with funding from the Department for Education are allowing us to provide start-up support to all schools in England who aren't currently offering the award, which is going to make a massive difference to helping us reach our ambition of more than 1 million young people by 2026 with the award, but particularly young people who are the most marginalised, who are the most likely to miss out on opportunities like this. So it's my absolute pleasure to welcome the Secretary of State. Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for all of your support. I know we've got sort of friends and supporters, and I think probably quite a lot of award holders in the room tonight. I'll do a show of hands in a minute. But thank you for your support, and here's to another 65 years of backing young people.
The DofE has taught me skills that will always just stick with me for life.
You build these friendships with people you might never have met before. It's so nice to sort of lift your head up and have this team of people supporting you.
It's definitely made me a more confident person. I'm a young carer as well, so I've always been quite shy, and this has really brought me out of my comfort zone.
I wanted to make sure I was giving myself the best possible opportunities for my future.
In job interviews, it can allow me to talk about more things more confidently and explain all the different skills that I've gained from it.
The experience offered me the chance to give something back to the community and make a difference to the people's lives around me who are less fortunate.
Os da chi'n licio rhedeg, nofio neu canwio, ffwrdd â chi.
I've quite enjoyed working under the bonnet and learning new things, and there's such a variety of things you can choose.
In my head, I wanted to say, keep going, you're amazing, keep doing it. So I was so proud of myself. I just loved it.
You can take something you're already interested in and then take it to the next level.
Being in a wheelchair, DofE really helped adapt everything so that I could approach it in the way that I needed to.
Plus you're going to have a lot of funny stories to tell when you're really old and look back.
Duke of Edinburgh is for everyone. There's so many opportunities.
Honestly, if you decide to take part in Duke of Edinburgh Award, you've made a really good choice. You have changed your life.
A fantastic insight there into some of the some more of the young people that are involved in the Duke of Edinburgh's Award. I'm slightly concerned that I'm now one of those people who is an older person looking back on their time at the Duke of Edinburgh Award. But thank you all. We are, as we said, very delighted to have the Secretary of State here this evening. And I'd like to invite her up now, and please do give her a very warm welcome to talk more about young people and communities and how we can work with them.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me at this event, and thank you to Conservative Home for hosting such an important event at the conference. And I want to, of course, pay tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh himself and all the work that he's done and the legacy that he's created. As many of the contributors have said before, let's hope there's another 65 years of this. You know, from my own department's perspective, of course, we are, first of all, I want to stress 100% behind the Duke of Edinburgh Award and making sure that it is available in every school and that we're really reaching out to as many people in communities up and down the nation. I personally didn't have the opportunity in my school to participate in the Duke of Edinburgh, and as I grew older and found people that had participated, you know, I must say I'm pretty jealous, especially after hearing the excellent account from Evie of just, you know, how transformational it can be. And she spoke very eloquently about the impact of COVID and how this really helped her to overcome some of the challenges that placed on young people. And I think, you know, when it was created in its inception, nobody dreamt of COVID, but it is something that can give people the confidence to overcome some of these things and really come out of their shell and flourish. For me, you know, my department that I represent, DCMS, is about connecting, it's about creating, and it's about protecting. So in terms of the Duke of Edinburgh, I see that synergy there too, where, you know, you're creating those opportunities, you're connecting people, and of course we've got to protect that, and so that it can help people overcome whatever life throws at them. I also think it's such an important tool in terms of skills, as we've heard, but also in building some of them softer skills, building character, building resilience, building confidence. When we think about the most successful nations around the world, they tend to build confidence in their young people and build them up with this can-do, will-do attitude. And sometimes I don't think we do a good enough job of that in the UK. And the Duke of Edinburgh is one way that we are doing it very well, and we should be taking those learnings and building people up and giving them the empowerment to go forward and conquer whatever they want to achieve. And one of the girls on the screen was a carer, something that I'm particularly passionate about. And we think about the challenges that young people have had when they're growing up from the care sector. And often, you know, people just need somebody to back them and to believe in them and to believe that they can succeed. And getting something like a Duke of Edinburgh Award really can give that self-belief that actually, despite what some people might have told you, you can do this and you can go on and go forth. And I have no doubt that Evie will soon be in the chamber challenging us, and I look forward to that. But I also think it's become part of our fabric now. It's very British, the Duke of Edinburgh, and I know it is obviously offered elsewhere around the world, but it's almost like a British export. And there are great things that are happening, but I particularly want to end on thanking everybody in this room that's a part.
And just a final thank you from me to all of you for joining us this evening, and again to the team at Duke of Edinburgh's Award for supporting this event and working with us at Conservative Home. And finally, please do give us another round of applause for Evie, Ruth, Ben and Michelle. Thank you very much.